As the fishing dispute between Britain and France rumbles on, here's a quick question for you. Who is the bigger threat to the United Kingdom? France or the current incompetent and corrupt British government? Meanwhile, the whole unseemly squabble over fishing is completely overshadowing the crucial COP26 summit on climate change, which is perhaps exactly what BloJo intended. Let me explain. Before we get into it, if you enjoy this channel, please give this video a like, subscribe and do the bell ping thingy to be notified of new videos. Britain is currently hosting COP26 and the eyes of the world are upon us. And what do they see? A country whose clown of a Prime Minister was a climate change denier until as recently as 2015 when he wrote in The Telegraph, "There may be all kinds of reasons why I was sweating at ping pong in December, but they don't include global warming." He had previously sided with Jeremy's idiot brother Piers Corbyn when he claimed that climate scientists are wrong about global warming. If there was any doubt among the world leaders gathered in Scotland that the UK and its ridiculous leader have any credibility whatsoever on environmental issues, a mere days before the start of the summit, a majority of Tory MPs rejected an amendment from the House of Lords which would have made it illegal to dump raw sewage into British rivers. As a result, we're currently suffering what has been dubbed a punami of raw sewage releases in waterways and around the British coastline. Rumour has it that this is a tactic favoured by Pritla Patel to deter dinghies full of refugees from entering British coastal waters. One could imagine her smirking at such an idea. Also, in the lead up to COP26, our Chancellor, rishier than the Queen Sunak, announced a cut in taxes on short-haul domestic flights, which is a gesture almost guaranteed to undermine British credibility on carbon commitments. Add to that the proposed opening of a new super coal mine in Cumbria, and also the opening of new oil fields in the North Sea, and it's no wonder that several leading world leaders, including President Xi, President Putin and our own Queen Elizabeth II, found excuses not to waste their time adding credence to the British government's posturing by attending the summit in Glasgow. I've done well in this video so far, as I've not actually mentioned Brexit up till now. But of course, every time Sandy bollocks to Piffle, Liz cut-and-paste Truss, or erstwhile climate change denier Trade Secretary Anne-Marie Trevelyan trumpet some half-baked trade deal with Australia, New Zealand or other nations on the other side of the globe, they're basically boasting about deals that multiply the amount of CO2 released into the Earth's atmosphere compared to the trade deals we did have with our geographical neighbours within Europe. Britain was known as the dirty man of Europe right up until the early 70s when we joined the EU, or EEC as it was known back then. Within months of leaving, we have regained that particular title. Truly world-beating, or Europe-beating at least. And this is why the manufactured dispute with France over fishing rights seems so convenient for Boris Johnson, as it deflects attention away from what is quite possibly the most important summit of world leaders ever held. Hopefully one day in the not too distant future, this won't be the only COP he'll have to worry about. But pending revelations about exactly where that 37 billion quid track and trace money actually ended up, the Piffle has nominated Master of Subtlety Lord Gormless David Frost to be his champion in the fight against France. Frost has asked the right-wing media to amplify how upset he is about allegations of France breaching treaty obligations post-Brexit. Poor man. If David Frost gets upset about breaches of treaty obligations, he must be very cross indeed with David Frost, who wants to breach the Northern Ireland Protocol treaty obligations that David Frost negotiated as part of the Brexit deal. Makes you wonder who voted for this twit. Oh wait, no one did. He's an unelected bureaucrat. Just like Carrie Johnson, who has a name that describes exactly what her job is. To Carrie Johnson. Both are the exact species that Brexit voters were allegedly voting to get rid of. But see, this distraction is even working on me. Back to COP26. Professor Stern, author of the landmark 2006 government report on climate change, has stuck his oar in and scolded Johnson that the UK and France need to work together to address climate change rather than argue about an issue that was comparatively trivial. And Chris Venables of environmental charity The Green Alliance said it's quite frankly ridiculous that this row could destabilise the start of COP26. They should clear this up as soon as possible and move swiftly on to the rather more important matter of protecting the future of our planet. Perhaps equally unsurprising, Ed Miliband and Keir Starmer have both aired their frustration at Johnson's attempts to distract from climate issues and COP26. In fact, regular viewers of this channel will know I'm not exactly a Starmer fanboy, but he came out with his best jibe at BloJo ever after Johnson said that humanity is 5-1 down at half-time against climate change, but that COP26 gives us the opportunity to equalise. Labour leader Keir Starmer retorted, "The Prime Minister is turning into a commentator rather than a leader in relation to COP26, lowering expectations by a commentary instead of leadership on the global stage." Quite right. The only stage Boris Johnson should be on is one for a pantomime. And as his popularity wanes amongst the Tories, if he's worried about anyone else looking to take his job, watch out, Boris! He's behind you!